Hi, I'm a little late. Hello to those that are gonna watch the replay. What's up? Just gonna go in and share this. Share now. Hi, when you show up, say hi. Hi, Rose. Rose says, Facebook tells me Rose is watching. Nice to see you. I am in a little bit of a different location this morning. My backyard is, my front porch is one of my favorite places to sip my coffee in the morning, and there's a little bit of construction going on, so I'm a little late. I said I was going to be here at 9:30, but I had to do a little bit of rearranging, so here I am in the backyard. Andy, what's up? Nice to see you. How's everybody doing this Sunday morning? You know, I was writing the title to this about I was caught in the comparison trap, and holy shit, like the shame that came up with even admitting that when I knew I was going to talk about it, but just even the shame. So I don't know, anybody here ever find themselves caught in comparison? Good morning, Rose. Yeah. So it's good that I'm talking about it, because the only thing that can hurt us are the things that we hide from ourselves. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about, like, let's put the light on the things that we, can't see or hiding from ourselves, because, I mean, those are the things that are in the underlying that are actually operating and preventing us from being our full selves. A friend of mine says something about shame. I'm trying to recall it now. It keeps, I don't know, it'll come back to me later. Good morning, Patty. Nice to see you too. Jeff, do you really want to be in my video, or you just hit the button by accident? I do it all the time. Nice to see you here. Hey, Scott Hastings. I don't know why I used your last name. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about these traps that we are unconsciously trapped in, and how to get out of it, and how these traps actually prevent us from being our full selves. This subliminal limitation, these constructs, these false fears that we hold ourselves back from living our full life. And like, really, like, we have this energy, we have the support to move forward and live our lives from our ways, from separating from societal expectations, separating from family expectations, dropping some old beliefs that we've picked up along the way, no longer allowing the traumas from our past to dictate how we show up and how we be and how we live, and really moving into soul aligned living. Jeff, do you really want to be here? You keep hitting the button. I'm not letting you in. I gotta talk first. Simon says judging is a reflection of yourself. It absolutely is. Yeah. And so what I'm talking about is, it wasn't so judging and comparing, two different things for me, especially for what was happening yesterday. So thanks for that invitation to dive right into what I'm talking about today, Simon. Is that, oh boy, here comes the sun. I don't want to do my live with, I can move, but I don't want to do my live with my sunglasses on. So I was moving through an ascension wave yesterday. I was moving through an energetic shift. I was moving through some emotional alchemy yesterday. And if you guys have followed my work, you know that I come from, this, living your life full out from a holistic way. And that, I don't know, there's a cloud here. Oh, you're gonna get some background cars. So, from living life from a holistic way. And that when we are shifting to the next level of our lives, shifting to, up leveling, shifting to the next version of you, who you were, what you were holding on to has to go. You can't keep doing what you've always done and become something new, right? You have to let go of the old. And through this process of evolution and ascension and change, we are releasing not only on the physical level in the ways that, the behaviors that you do, but the emotional level, right? You have to let go of the fears, the insecurities, the sadness, the pain, but also it happens on a vibrational level. And when we're releasing these beliefs on a physical level, you can feel it, and that's where the discomfort comes. And that's so much of what people want to. Hi, Kevin. Thanks to the hearts, guys. Hey, Jeff, you're so funny. You are hysterical. So the fears, the limiting beliefs, they hold a vibration too, and we carry that inside our physical being. And as we're moving through this process of evolution and, becoming and soul aligned living, that stuff has to go too. And people, I get it, it becomes very uncomfortable in this meat suit, this body we have, to be in the process of the expulsion, of the release, of the shifts that are happening. But that's absolutely imperative to continue to move forward on your journey and to be your fullest self, oh my God, I moved and the sun is over here now, to be your fullest expression. And so yesterday was a day for me where I woke up and I was feeling some discomfort. I was feeling waves of energy move through. And, we used to almost have a choice to whether we were going to participate in the release, to participate in the expansion of ourselves. It was almost like we could kind of put it on pause and then go about our day. It's not happening anymore. We're not given the choice so much anymore. It's like it's happening whether or not you want it to, right? And if you're here, it's happening and you're ready and you can handle it. Nature does love me. You're right. The bees. Oh gosh, I am not protected by a porch this morning, so let's hope the hawk doesn't want to fly down. And I just looked up and the moon is over there. It's beautiful outside today. So yesterday, as I was going through my process, so I was moving about my morning, and I could just feel the I could just feel the things bubbling up, something within asking for my presence, something within. Good morning, Brian. Something within was, whispering, hey, hello. And so then I decided to, first I went to the farmer's market because it's like one of my favorite places to go in town. And yesterday was the last day, and there's a lot of, great vendors there. And it's just like one of my little Saturday morning rituals that I like to do. But I came back. Kevin says life is a process. It is a process, right? And so it's just about learning to be with the process and not get caught up with the process, because, years back when, a lot of my older traumas were coming up, I did get lost in it all. And now I've learned how to move through it very effectively and powerfully, and to take the energy that's coming up and alchemize it in a way to carry me forward, there's a bumblebee here, to bring me more aligned with my vision and more solidly grounded in what it is that I'm wanting to experience and create for myself. So yesterday in my process, I was starting to feel a lot of discomfort in my body. And rather, so much of us, like I said, we want to avoid it. It's not possible anymore, because when we're avoiding it, what's happening is like now bodies are breaking down, illness is happening, things are happening where you're having to sit still. So if you're feeling the urges or the bubblings within, pause, stop, be present with yourself. And if you need support, reach out for support. I mean, this is the work that I do as a guide. If it's not me, like, make sure you have a lifeline to help you remember the truth of who you are and not get caught up in the chaos and the fuckery of the mind that happens. Because as you're releasing some of this old stuff, and as you're becoming more of who you are, and how you're, as you're tapping more into your soul aligned truth, the stuff that was going on in your mind, part of your personality wants to hold on, because in the evolution of who you are, you're not going to be who you are. You're not going to be the people pleaser. You're not going to, some other people's feathers may be ruffled, and that's what stops people from their evolution. And you're not meant to do that anymore. You're meant to just keep going forward. And that little shake, I just got a little dizzy. Rose says, it's transmuting the energy to a higher energy. Yes, I breathe through and release it. Beautiful, Rose. Absolutely. So I want to share with you guys about my comparison trap that happened yesterday, and for you to understand how to recognize it and how to use it for your highest and best. I'm just going to move my computer out of the way because it is sitting in the sun. I didn't know if I would need it out here. All right. Brian, no, you're not coming in. So, hi Julie, hi Lindsay. So yesterday, energy's coming up. I know I need to be present. I lay down and I just start feeling all of the sensations in my body moving through. And it can really feel like the mind will tell you that like death is imminent. It will tell you that it's uncomfortable, don't do it. That's just really the small parts of you that want everything to stay the status quo. Change is part of the whole process. And just like going to a gym and working out and building a muscle, that muscle needs to rip to grow. So it's time to grow. Hi, Joan. Kevin says, enjoying living life. Do not get overwhelmed. Take one step at a time. Be all that God wants you to be. Change is a blessing. Absolutely. And so yesterday, as I was laying there and I was being present with the sensations, a story started to go through my mind, right? So that's part of what I was saying about how the beliefs that we hold have energy. So it's almost as if it moves through my body and then I get the story in my mind. And the story in my mind, I just started to see a picture of this other online entrepreneur who is very successful. And the story that started to go through my mind was, oh, well, she has it easy. I don't know her story. I don't know how easy or hard she has. I'm just projecting my own, it's like this, how it was coming through this morning. It was like, there was a part of my mind that wanted to hold on to things being hard, or that there's a limitation. And so then I was projecting it on her and saying, oh, well, she has it easy. And in doing that, I was just, subconsciously in my own mind, building the story that it's hard for me. And it's not. So in that moment, so it's almost like in the eject button, I'm seeing how I'm releasing any kind of limitation or story about things being hard. And what I did is I tuned back in to remembering, like, I am powerful. Anything that I need, I can call into my life. Any support I need. And my whole thing is like, how easy can it be? Can you guys see me okay? The sun is really coming out. Julie, it is nice to tune in like this. Oh, connection. I don't know if I'm losing connection or not because I'm kind of far back in the backyard here. So it's for a minute, so it's like, pay attention to the sensations, pay attention to the whispers, pay attention to your soul that's saying, hey, slow down, we need to have a conversation. Stop and be present. Because, so much of us, we've been trained that do, action, and task. That's all important, but not if your inner alignment is out of whack. Not if you've got background stories, subliminally telling you that things are hard, because you don't want to be moving forward from any of the traps, any of the comparison, any of the victim, any of the, what did you say earlier? Any of the judgments, right? You want to clear this stuff up first and then move forward powerfully. And so that's what I did. As I saw the story come up, so I heard the whispers, I got present, felt the sensations, saw the story that was leaving. That's totally not even necessary. You don't always have to hear or know what's leaving. And then I chose. And then I chose to remember that I am powerful, that things can be easy, that I have the opportunity to call things in for me. Now, the most important thing that I wanted to share on this was that, and then I may need to move, is that, and see if you guys want to chat at all, is that my path is going to look completely different to anybody that my personality or my ego wants me to compare it to. My path, my journey is going to happen my way. And I've learned that in the 15 years that I've been doing this work, because it's like I've always had coaches and mentors and support along my journey. And I've learned processes, and I've learned, ways to bring my work out into the world. Hi, Jennifer. And I've taken everything that I've learned from all of the masterminds and coaches and mentors, and I've developed what works for me. And that's what's so important, is that what works for you? How does your life work for you? Right? That's what this whole soul aligned living is all about, is that dropping all of the things that feel not in alignment. And you'll know because it feels uncomfortable, right? If you're trying to move forward in something and there's discomfort, you're either holding on to something that is not serving you anymore, or you're resisting more of your true self from coming through. And so pay attention to the rumblings within, be present with yourself, and tell yourself a new story. It's simple, but not only easy, because there does come some discomfort. And when you're moving into living your truth, soul aligned living, being the full expression of who you are from within, it's almost like you're moving into unknown territory. It's almost as if you're going into spaces that you've never been before. And that's a lot of what sometimes holds people back, because we know the pain, we know the trauma, we know the limitation. We do it in our sleep. We do it so easily and subconsciously. But these programs are being plucked out of us. You know, your soul wants so much more of a fuller expression. And going into that unknown is scary for the ego and the personality. The ego wants to know, is this thing I'm going to do, can I see the whole picture? Can I make sure that I'm going to be successful? Well, you're only going to know if you try. And in this soul aligned living group that I started, it's opened yesterday or the day before. Yeah, yesterday. We're going to be together for 4 weeks, and we're going to be, really tuning into what's real and right for you. Like, what are your beliefs? What is the thing that sets your soul on fire? What is the thing that you've been afraid to step forward and do because you're really not sure? And then to be surrounded by a group of people who are fiercely choosing for themselves, doing the bold things, doing the, taking the steps without seeing the next brick in front of them, flying and not knowing if the net or the wings are going to show up. And then me as your guide, channeling the downloads and, connecting with your soul and providing intuitive guidance to, carry you forth on your path and your journey. I mean, it's harvest time. All the work has been done. The time for living has begun. I'm gonna have to move because I'm starting to sweat. What are you guys saying? Julie says your statement, and then I choose. So powerful. Or chose. Oh, it's a low network connection. I'm gonna probably have to go backwards. And then Joan says, my old story was a Greek tragedy. My new story is a romantic comedy. Joan, I love you. You're so funny. Hi, Tish. I'm going to move back a little bit out of the sun. If you guys have anything more to say, do you have any questions about this? I mean, it really, it's that simple, is that it's really begins with a choice and you choosing to be present with yourself, to be present for what's coming through you, to be boldly choosing a new story. And trust me, I know that it is so hard to choose sometimes, because that old story really wants to hold on, right? The part of you, oops, can you see my face? The parts of us that, don't want to rock the barrel, the parts that don't want others to feel uncomfortable, the parts that don't want to, there's a bumblebee here, a big one. Here, I should put it on camera. I just hit my arm. The parts that, all of the parts, just all of the parts that have kept you inside your comfort zone are going to come up for question. All of the stories, right? My story about somebody else's life being easier, which is like so silly to me now, but it was really like, it's real for some part of me, and I honor and recognize that part of me, but I know I don't have to let her drive the bus anymore. So pay attention to the sensations in your body, the thoughts that are moving through, and really choose powerfully and boldly for yourself. And a lot of, when you are in that in-between phase of like confusion, not sure what my path is, not sure what my passion is, that to me says there's a lot of background, static going on, that stories are in conflict of what's really real and true and right for you. And that's what we're doing inside this next course, that we're going to be together for 4 weeks, really diving in and playing and tapping into soul alignment, really. Julie says we're moving beyond the known. Yeah, and it can be scary. We do have to remind ourselves. It definitely can be scary. It's definitely scary. But the reward of moving through not only the discomfort, the stories, the fears, the limitations, breaking the paradigms, really standing strong and true for yourself, the reward is, it's priceless. You can't put I moved far back. The connection broke up a little bit. You can't put a value on living your life full and free and feeling confident and grounded in your expression. And what happens is, as you release these constructs and these beliefs and these veils that have been put upon us, and the things that the beliefs hold in place, you're so much more free to tap into your creative expression, to tap into your authentic self. And it's whatever language you use, it's like we're moving from this 3D world into 5D and beyond. And through, when we're releasing the things that have held us back in the past, life becomes so much more richer. And the connections that are made, and the synchronicities, and the flow, and the people that come into your life. And that's what, I can use my own example, is that through my own journey of tapping into my own truth, I've had to release some relationships, and even some experiences along the way. And it's hard, but letting go of maybe a couple of relationships that were more surfacey, to tap into relationships and connections that are deep, that we can all show up as we are. Oh my God, I could start crying right now just thinking about it. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's such a blessing to have the magical friends that I have in my life. And it was absolutely worth releasing those that were not serving me. And I have this community of connections, which happen to be all over the world. And that remind me of who I am when I get lost. They're like, you know, lifelines. And so that's what I'm building this community inside. It is the You Are the Medicine group. This soul aligned living group, Time for Harvest, is an adjunct to it. And the ways that everybody is supporting each other in there is just like, is beautiful. And so going through the tough times is absolutely worth it. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Jennifer says, you are amazing. You're amazing, Jennifer. I'm so glad to know you. Joan says, it only becomes, it's only scary in the beginning. Then this becomes your new paradigm, your new reality. You're absolutely right. It's only scary in the beginning. And then you realize, so thanks, Joan, for saying that. Because it's like you, I'm trying to find a metaphor here. My stupid metaphors. Somebody told me that the other day. They're like, nobody cares about your stupid metaphors, friend. And really, that was really so much more about me owning myself. And so remember that when the things are reflecting back to you as like hurtful or disturbing it is, again, it comes down to choice. Well, what am I going to choose? I'm going to choose this person's story, or am I going to choose my truth, which is that metaphors are one of the ways that I alchemize energy and unfuck people's minds. So, hi Lovey, hi Steph. Letting go of the scary. Thank you, Joan. Get me back on track. So it's scary in the beginning, but it's like, all right, here's the thing that I'm reminding of. I remember going on a water slide. Oh my God, so many years ago. I mean, this thing was so high, I couldn't even see the bottom. And it was literally like this, like straight down. And I like wanted to climb the 1,000 stairs back down. And I went down, and it was the most fun and invigorating, like, energy opening experience. And so what you start to learn is that it's scary for a moment, but then on the other side, there's so much more magic. So it's like this much fear, which feels like this much fear, right? Or beyond, right? This much fear. But then the magic and the fun and the amazingness on the other side is just like beyond. It's like unsurmountable. It's, you know, priceless. It's like you can't even count on it. You can't even count it. So if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down and you want to be a part of a group that is, you know, really tapping into what's real and right for them and releasing the constructs and the beliefs and doing the thing that's scary and having the support and the intuitive guidance and the, you know, the soul channeling, then this group is for you. I'll put a link in here. But before I wrap up, I just want to see anything else you guys are saying. Brian says, not stupid. Love it. Oh, what did I say about stupid? Oh, thank you. My metaphors. Yeah, see, I've totally forgot that story. Thank you, Joan. Joan says she loves my metaphors. I do too. Like, they just come through. And I'm on like client calls, and some of the craziest things come through these metaphors because I'm trying to, like, you know, my work, it comes through my words, but it's really happening beyond. It's happening on the energetic level, and it just like goes in and zaps, and it's like my genius is confusion, and goes in and it comes through with this metaphor that the client can understand on an intellectual level, right? And you guys can understand on an intellectual level, and then it does like this energetic reformatting on the inside. Those are the words that I have for the things that I really can't see, but I know that it works because it's like the old programs are zapped out and they're like living this new experience. So what about you guys? What are you taking away from what I'm sharing today? Like, what are you excited about? Like, what is it that, you know, what piece of yourself are you ready to take and move forward and bring out into the world? Yeah. And you know what? And as I'm just sitting here, and it's like, as much as like even me typing in about I had comparison, I was in the comparison trap yesterday, which was only really like momentary. You know, but back in the past, it would have lasted a really long time, and I would have shut myself down, and I wouldn't be showing up, and, you know, I would have canceled things. I mean, it's just like, it just comes up as a blip now. But I'll tell you, if you missed the beginning of this, I shared about how I felt a little shame just typing that in, that I actually have that. But what was just coming through now about how, like, what are you most excited about? What do you want to share? Like, what more of yourself wants to come through? I tap in that there's a collective shame around that as well. That there is a collective shame around things being good and things being easy and owning your amazingness. And like, there's shame around, you know, being your magnificent self. There's shame around, you know, being happy. And that's just like subliminal programming that we've all somehow taken on that keeps us limited. No more time for limitation. It's time, it's harvest time. It's time to live. It's time to be your fullest expression and to really tap into what this life is really about. So if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna drop off, finish my coffee in the backyard. I'll probably, I'm actually going for a hike today with a friend of mine. Oh, thank you for the love hearts. Thank you. If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna tap out and enjoy this Sunday. And if you have any questions about my work, how you can work, I have many different levels that you can work with me. I'm going to put the link for the group in here. I'd love to see you. And you know what you can expect out inside of that group is, like I said before, this is like an intuitive readings, soul channeling, divine downloads and drop-ins, and I'll be doing lives. And what, you know, the theme is to really be tapping into your soul and what's right for you and having the courage to take the steps. And I think that's it. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, Brian. Beautiful day, Jennifer. Thanks for tuning in and sharing your energy and your likes and your messages, and we'll see you soon.